Hi, y'all. It's Knitting in Our Jeans.
I'm Carolyn.
I'm Elizabeth. And what you didn't hear was the fact that we were both kvetching about our hair.
As usual.
As is our modus operandi for these things.
I'm the girl with the curl in the middle of her forehead. When she was good, she was very, very good. But when she was bad, she bought yarn.
That seems to fit you quite well.
Yes. And we've been clearing out Elizabeth's room, not precipitously, because she's only been in her own apartment for a year.
And not in my apartment, as you can tell. We're back at my mom's place. So
I'm a college professor who didn't have a study. So the idea was she was going to move out, which she did. She loves her place. And I was going to get a study. Well, I waited a year. And now it's time. So we're clearing
it did take me like 6 months to get the first big set, like to get my dining room table and the first bookshelf. And we finally lit a fire under Daddy's butt enough to get my second bookcase over there. So,
because he wants to paint the room.
He finally has.
He lit his own fire. Well, so anyway, But what did you find?
We're getting there.
Speaking of yarn.
I found the yarn. So I found it's Blue Sky Alpaca bulky in like boysenberry. It's a beautiful purple.
Gorgeous. And she says, I've been looking for this.
Because I found bits and bobs of it. And I was like, where the heck is it? Because I knew where I had it before I reorganized, before I moved. Because organizing is good. Reorganizing is very bad for us.
Well, yes.
And then
it's easy to lose things.
What I also found. Well, I knew it was here in the house.
Okay.
But I'm very happy to have my fancy shoes again.
Oh yes, we found all kinds of shoes. So we found some shoes that are the kind that you were, never want to wear those again.
Oh God, no. I tried on a pair and I was like, I've got 1 foot in and I was like, ow, 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 ow. Those went in the trash.
And then we found pairs that she loves. So I'm really glad I made her go through all this stuff. We still have about, 4 or 5 boxes?
Probably, but they're not big
to go through. There are things that she thought she wanted at one time when we first went through. And now we're going through them again. Bagley Mishkas, which we found on sale at Nordstrom's, I believe.
My daddy doesn't like these shoes because I wore them to a dance in college and I fell and
She jumped and fell.
I was walking and I slipped on some.
You told me you jumped.
No, I said I ran.
Okay.
The story is I was running, which I can in heels, except not smooth bottomed.
And it was January or December.
It was November.
I think it was cold.
It was November. It was inside, but it was wet.
Okay.
But look at how beautiful they are.
And they're comfortable.
And they're so comfy. And so I now have these. I now need to see if they work with whatever outfit I am planning on wearing to my company Christmas party. I also have a few other options, but I now have these again in my life. They're like a yarn baby, but with shoes.
Yes.
We have a problem with yarn and shoes.
And purses. I almost took that work bag that you were throwing out. And I don't need it. I don't need it.
Also, the strap is too short.
I don't need it. I have the thing that Lori gave me, which is gorgeous.
And the strap is too short.
Yes.
If you had grabbed it, I would have told you no, because that strap is too short, because you can't throw it over your shoulder easily.
I was teasing in my Harry Potter group that we needed muffins, so we actually have brownies. They're Namaste brownies, and
I'm going to take a piece of one right now.
All right, well, there's a small one here.
Oh, I did not see the small one.
I have the small one.
Mommy got the small one. I'll probably be picking up one of the larger ones, or I'll leave it for Daddy.
These are really good.
All right. They're really good.
Gluten-free.
Dairy-free and nut-free.
And they're delicious. So if you ever need, and they're a mix.
We only do not in a box if we have a lot of time or if it's a specific recipe. Or
I don't do really well with getting non-gluten things to rise. All of my history in baking is with regular flour. So this gluten-free is a whole new adventure, but Namaste, these are delicious. I think we probably got them at Whole Foods.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Another, if you're gluten-free and dairy-free and all that, looking for a cake mix, the yellow cake mix by Glutino, very good. We use that in cocoa bars. Some people call them blondies. They're essentially chocolate chip cookies, but made with yellow cake mix. Mm-hmm. And yeah, some people call them blondies. We've always called them chocolate chip nut bars, cocoa bars.
Mother calls them cocoa bars.
Yeah, she adds nuts to them. We don't, obvious reasons.
She adds nuts because it's in the recipe. You got to put everything that's in the recipe.
Unless you're allergic to things.
Not been able to convince her not to put everything that's in the recipe. Anyway,
moving on. We have knitting.
We have knitting. So I'm working on my Harry Potter mission,
which is a sugar maple by Karina Spencer.
Right.
It's a good thing I have such a memory for these things.
Well, hold it.
I'm going to help.
So my new skein starts right there with the darker blue. So I've been working on this assiduously for the past 2 days, and what we're not going to get any more of is this really deep kind of tanned yellow. There's none of that in the skein. You can see down here as yellow as it gets. So as I keep going down, this is definitely going to be darker. So I'm really pleased with that. I've done about
out of the neighborhood that we went and dyed, and Mom made a variegated set, like that's a gradient.
Right. That I wanted to look like the beach. So this is very sandy. This is the shallow water.
This is when you just put your toes in.
Right. And then down here is
like mid-calf. I'm doing this as if it's my leg. So mid-calf.
And then the next one is going to be
knee or thigh length. Yeah.
So that's been moving along. I'm really pleased with that. So I'm hoping to get this done by next week. We'll see. We will see. Depends on how much knitting time I've got. Friday I'm going to be there filming all day.
Yeah,
so
because we can't meet up.
I've been asked to do something for an alumnus of my college, and it's going to be a short talk on anti-global corruption. So Friday, most of the workday will be gone, but there's always knitting at night.
You get to get your makeup done.
I do get my makeup done. I'm so excited about that.
Yesterday I came over and she was like, oh, "Guess what? I get my makeup done."
So who knows what television makeup's going to look like, but anyway.
A new experience.
A new experience. So my robe has been put on hold for the moment, so I can get my sugar maple done. But I have, in the middle of a row, it looks like. Where is the beginning of that row? Where is the beginning of the sleeve? There. So I have reached the sleeve length. So now it just goes up. So, hold that. It just builds up from here to make the sleeve. I think it's 30 rows or, no, it's more than that. Anyway, I'm just building up. So this is on hold while I finish the Karina Spencer, or at least give it a week. But I'm really pleased with how this is going, and it's so warm. This is great. This is absolutely fantastic.
Good.
Then, I told you all I ordered Boat.
By Dragonfly.
And they do it only every 4 years. And I think we also mentioned that I have a problem in that I normally grab all the fingering. And I made a promise to myself going to Rhinebeck that I was going to pick up sport weight or DK weight. So I have 5 skeins.
So they didn't have, and they had Vote at Rhinebeck, but they only had a limited supply, and instead of Mom wiping them out, I prompted her to be a good person and to order it online that night instead. So it showed up.
This is Traveler. It's 280 yards for a 4-ounce skein.
It's about a DK weight.
Right.
It's a lovely yarn to work with. It's 100% merino.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is a little less than 1,500 yards. So I'd say I probably have about 14.
You can make a perfectly fine sweater.
It's going to be great. And I have several
look at that coloring.
It's gorgeous.
Bluey, purple, and red, and I
couldn't let it go.
It's so beautiful.
So I've actually attached it to 2 sweaters in my queue. So
that when you get to it, you can decide which one you want.
Exactly. When I finish the Karina Spencer, when I finish the robe, I've started on my dad's Christmas present, so that's over there. We'll probably pick that up in a minute. On Instagram, I showed casting on yesterday in the office. So I have started that. Then, I didn't tell you this.
Oh, if you haven't noticed every week, she tends to turn to me and say, I didn't tell you about this. So, as we said last week, we do talk a lot, but apparently she is, oh my word. Well, hold on. So, I just saw.
You wouldn't let me buy any at Indie Untangled.
Right, but that also was because they had the yellow in it that you don't like. And
well, I would have loved it. But never mind.
You also allowed others to partake in the wonderfulness that is Voolenvine. And obviously you got some of her update. But I didn't.
I didn't. No, this is someone's D-stash.
Oh. Well, what I was saying was, if you haven't noticed, she's being a little like Gigi and Jasmine going, I didn't tell you this, as if I saved it for the podcast.
I did.
Yeah,
But truly, I love Voolenvine Yarn. And
it's lovely. She does a good dye.
She does a wonderful job.
That's
Kristen
beautiful.
Is the person that we're referring to.
Of also the Yarngasm podcast.
This is Poe.
It's beautiful.
On Nouveau, and it is 100% superwash merino. It's 400 yards of skein.
It's a little bit more speckly than it's showing up. It looks a bit oatmeal-y, but it's a little bit more kind of speckled. It's gorgeous.
And I can only imagine that the person who was destashing needed money, because I can't imagine destashing Voolenvine otherwise. Kristen, you do beautiful work. You use beautiful bases.
And you're a wonderful person.
And when I saw that, and since I'd said I didn't get any at Indie Untangled, that I owed myself some.
You had.
Yes. So this was the only D-stash that had 4, which is my usual. So I've got 1,600 yards. Now, see what you think. This is
the Rhinebeck colorway.
So I'm thinking that cardigan that has stripes.
Oh. Well, I'm having trouble. I'm sorry.
I think that'll be really pretty.
That would be really pretty.
So I'm thinking I've got, there's a pattern in my queue that is a cardigan that is striped, and you can do the stripes varying depths. And I thought that would be really nice. So I think that'll go together really, really well. I'm quite pleased.
Only thing you might get frustrated with is because Voolenvine's is a single and Babs is applied.
But it's the same weight.
I know. I'm just saying because you...
I know. I know. I know.
I'm pointing it out before you say it and get frustrated. I'm just going on record saying that I called it.
Yes. Yes, you did. So then what else? Oh,
you have that.
Well, then this is what I made yesterday. We have... we're near Winthrop Memorial Hospital, and we make baby blankets, we make blanket squares, and we make baby hats for the preemie ward. And so yesterday... sometimes newborns. But this is what I made yesterday, which is a granny square that I updated with a knitted applied border. And it was 6 stitches wide, and I'm really quite pleased. And I think that what I'll do in the future is I may use that to join all my granny squares, so I could do that, and I'm really excited about that. Sorry, these are 2 of my shawls
of
hers that she's made. She said I was going to blank out.
Yeah, it was a little too white on.
This is my room cleaning.
We're pale, if you haven't noticed, and Mom in white with as pale as we are can get a little washed out. So I was like, you need a little bit of color. That. I don't remember I think it's Sleeve Heart. I don't remember who it's by. It's it's Nerd Girl Yarns. The Devil is in the Details. Devil's in the Details.
It's gorgeous.
On Foxy.
I love it.
I'm just gonna.
I love Nerd Girl Yarn.
So
it's really gorgeous.
That.
Oh, doesn't that look nice? And then
see, look. Now, if you put a pin there, you could wear it for work.
I like that.
See, she always complains about not knowing how to wear shawls. All she needs is to ask me
I just need a dresser. I need a dresser, yes. So the other thing that people were talking about were the sock blanks at Rhinebeck that somehow I didn't find. For this coming year until probably June, I'm getting blind in one eye because my cataract is growing. And because I teach, I can't take off. I don't want to take off time. The classes, my students are so loyal. I mean, they'll wait for me. They
when she lost her voice, they were extra quiet.
Yes, they listened to me whisper. It was amazing. One time I couldn't get to work because I'd blown a tire. I had some of the boys were texting me, "Can we come help you?" They're lovely.
And some of the girls I knew in her class were like, "Is she actually okay? Can we do anything? Should we bring her any?"
Blown a tire.
Is she panicking? After she had gotten to school, they were like, "Can we bring her coffee? Can we bring her something? Like, is she okay?" I was like, "She's fine. Lovely. She's just a little frustrated. I would leave her alone."
So it's quite possible for me to miss things because they're off to the right side. Anyway, I saw a lot of people talking about, and have been talking about, AndreSue Knits sock blanks. And here's the card. Oops, there it is. This is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's 463 yards at 100 grams. And I got carp or goldfish.
Koi fish.
Koi fish, sorry. I think it was goldfish.
They're koi fish. They're gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous. So there is a class this month in Harry Potter that would involve socks. So I think, see what you think. I'm thinking about cutting it in half so that I definitely have 2 halves, which would be... Why don't
you work... Oh, because you can't work from either end, right.
And that way I have exactly the right amount for the 2 socks, and then I can just keep going. Because the other thing I do is I make tube socks and then put the heel in as an afterthought heel. I apparently have a slim foot. It's about the only thing that's slim for me. Not necessarily true, but I could just keep going and going and going and know that I keep going until...
I mean, or put in like running stitch so that you only knit down to that point.
Oh, possible. I do like to make 2 socks at a time.
I know you do. I would be hesitant.
Why? Anyway, that's a question.
Because I've never worked from a sock blank, so I'm just not sure how it.
That's what my thought is. If anybody has a comment, I'm not going to start it for about a week. So if you have a comment, let me know.
Either down below or on our Ravelry group.
Yes, there's a chat one. So
or in the episode thread.
That's true. Yes. So I'm very excited about this. And Andy, you do beautiful work. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
I can't imagine. And somehow I thought she was from Maine, but she's from Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, don't.
If you were close to Alexandria, I'd come by and say hi when we're down for Thanksgiving.
You're so cute.
Well, I would.
I know you would. I knew that was not not even threat, just an empty statement.
Yes. So I'm so excited. Again, this is from someone's D-stash. So when I hear things on a podcast and other people are talking about things, I start looking through Ravelry and people's D-stash so that, just by chance someone's overbought.
Yeah.
Or they're feeling guilty. And I don't feel guilty at all. So, if I missed it at Rhinebeck, I want to make sure that I pick it up someplace else. And now I have it. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It's so talented. Really nice. So
it's gorgeous.
That's about all I have.
Going back to when we were cleaning out my room.
Yes.
We found this. And I just wanted to show you all because I thought this was the coolest thing ever, apparently, in high school.
Yes, she did.
I made it. It's like fun for art yarn sparkliness, and then 2 rows of ribbon. Or of a ribbon. What was I thinking? It's good work. I'm consistent with my stitches. I swear this had to be on like size 19s.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
I think over a winter coat.
I think it was fine for what it was. This was in fashion at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's very 2000s high school, middle school. But I think it now is going in the trash.
You can decorate your Christmas tree with it. Everybody needs garland.
If I want garland, I will go back upstairs and grab that skinny silver scarf.
Oh.
That I could do.
That you could do.
That I could do.
Mm-hmm.
maybe I will do that. But I just wanted to show you all because
She said, I have to save it for the podcast.
Because, like, I went from this to this. This is the Laura Ayler Oak Park. And I did it in kind of a modified way. I had the kit from...
I'm going to get Poppy's present.
Okay.
And show them.
But I did this in the Bad Moon Rising from a Traveler kit from Dragonfly Fibers.
Mm-hmm.
And there was not enough of this purple or the gray. And so the gray I actually used Neighborhood Fiber Co. Sport in Charles Circle. And this light purple is Miss Babs Yowza in Clematis?
Whatever. It's a flower.
It's a purple flower. And Mom had made a sweater for my cousin in it and had leftover yarn, so she gave it to me.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
yes.
and so I used it in this, and then I used it in a pair of mitts I made also with this gray that I do not have with me. But what do I have with me? I have my blanket again. Oh, this is
my dad's second blanket square. It's huge.
So this is starting the water.
Yes, this is the water. There will be a boat on top of this in sky. So, yes, I'm working on this.
So I have the old forge. So I finished the lace pattern, and I'm on to the patterned, like the chevron pattern. And there are some patterns that have a color work in it. Doing that is going to drive me up a wall. I had an idea of just like before we started podcasting, of maybe just starting the darker color and just doing it.
Because carrying the
colors is going to drive me up a wall.
Well, I don't want you driven up a wall.
And it's 600 stitches.
For how long is the
stitches around. It's a 12 row repeat.
Well, why don't you do 1 12 row and then do the rest of it in the dark? But I don't think I
can because it's a chevron, so I have to finish part of the chevron, so it's probably more like 18.
Well, you could do 18 rows to finish the chevron.
Of 600 stitches across.
Yes, and then just go directly
into that was the point of doing the color work, but I don't know. Like it's written in the pattern to do everything in this color, but I don't have enough yarn in this color to do that.
Is the chevron a knit and
it's knit and pearls,
so it shows up?
Yeah.
Well, then take out that row and just do it in the dark.
Okay.
Because the point is that it should be a gift. It's a gift, and you want it to be a gift that you're happy about.
Right, and I also don't feel like if it's a gift, I don't need to make it absolutely, the most ideal way I would make it kind of thing.
It's up to you.
I mean, it's a great pattern. I think I'll knit it again. I don't think...
Oh. Okay.
So I think especially since I want it out by Christmas. Like I want to send it to them by Christmas.
I'll be fascinated to see how big that is when you block it.
It's supposed to be huge. I have the pattern right here. Oh, and that's the Old Forge by Stephen West in Cascade 220.
I wish we had seen him at Rhinebeck
so
we could show him.
That would have been great.
He seems to be a lovely fellow.
You're taking a class with him at Vogue Knitting.
I know.
And it's sold out now.
Is it?
Yes. So is our Franklin Habit class.
Oh, well, Franklin Habit I've had a class with before, as have you. And
I follow him on Instagram, and he's fantastic.
When I remember to look at Instagram, I certainly follow him. And he's been doing some really fun stuff. And then Stephen West just looks like joy personified. So when I saw that he was on the list for Vogue Knitting Live in New York, I said, well, I don't care what he's teaching. I'm taking it. Maybe I could interview him. We should think of maybe 3 questions I could interview him with, and maybe you could stop by. Or no, that's the morning.
No, that's the morning I'm not there.
Oh.
Or you could at least ask him them and then report back.
Well, maybe. Oh, I could probably audio tape him.
Probably on your phone, yeah.
Yes, on my phone. So I could do that.
And we could input it somehow. Yeah. But you would have to ask permission and explain that we are a podcast. And
of course.
We could do that.
Lance did that.
Right. I'm just saying it's something we should definitely think
I'll ask him.
Yeah, no, it's something to think of. The old forge is supposed to be 65 inches in diameter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really
I thought it would be a good size for them.
Yeah. I think it's nice.
So
anyway, and we've got, maybe Franklin had, but we could ask to say a few pithy words.
Yeah. And see, and we could ask a few people. So then, this is my bag of scraps for the,
what?
Cowl for the Gilmore Girls knit along. And I think, instead of buying new yarn, because,
yay,
I am trying to knit through my stash, which means knitting through bits and bobs, because I mean sometimes like a bit and a bob you can get 100 yards, which you can make something out of. Like, why not?
I really can't wait till we get that room painted and we go and buy shelves so that
we can design something. It's going to be great.
My stash is going to be all out because
it's going to be great.
Yes, it will be fantastic.
But I found this gray that I had made a sweater out of that I thought about making long sleeve originally, but I made it short sleeve because it's alpaca and it's really thick and it's beautiful, but it'd be a lot as a long sleeve. That Reina with the lace pattern.
Yeah.
So I think this with the red.
Oh my goodness.
And the green.
Because that's the weight you're supposed to have, isn't it?
Yeah. And the orange and the purple.
Nice.
Will look really good. I do have my multicolored blue in here. I think I'm going to ask in the, planning thread if... Hold on, I'm going to put this all back and it's going to be a little plasticky loud. I'm going to ask if they can suggest, a kind of, swatching if you're in between two colors. Because I think the blue could look the blue variegated could look really cool as well. But we'll see. I love that color. I have a sweater in it. I just don't have enough to make another sweater in it. So, that's what I have.
Now, the Gilmore Girls, that's a pattern that comes out over 4 days.
Yes, that's
It's not a
cowl. It's a mystery knit along.
Yeah, but it's not one that comes out every week or every
No.
It's 4 days.
It's 4
and you get the whole thing.
Now,
I packed a few because they're showing the thing over 4 days?
No. So, it's a Netflix release, so they release it at midnight on Black Friday.
Okay.
So Thursday, we don't go to a movie so we'll come home from doing whatever shopping we have to do on Thanksgiving.
Right.
The last few years, it's just been all of us sitting around the kitchen table with our computers and just going, how much, like doing a tally sheet and going, oh, this is the differential between you and me. Here's your check. It works out really well.
We get presents so that we start at Thanksgiving. I'll start Thanksgiving with 3 presents done because they're knitted. Mm-hmm. So whether they're done or they're along the path, but I don't have to buy for those people.
Yeah.
But I won't have much more done. And the sales that come out on Thanksgiving, well, by the time Black Friday is over, we're pretty much done Christmas shopping. And it makes it so easy. Everybody can tell us what they want. I can get my mother to help me figure out what my younger brother wants. And
it works out well for the grandkids as we're, because for my grandmother and for my aunt and uncle and my mom and dad, because we can say, well, there are these few big things we want, and people will decide what, who's splitting them or what the differential is, what we're splitting.
We bought computers that way so that everybody in the family is buying,
my aunt and uncle,
Laura, a computer, so...
For last year, my aunt and uncle bought me a rolling, extra cabinet for my bed, for my apartment, my kitchen. But they found it on Craigslist, so it was within their price range, because if not, I was going to say share it between your kids, too. It's something I really, really want, and I need, and I use it every day, so it's really great. But that's kind of what I was talking about. But then that Friday, Friday morning, we can get up early. We can go to Olive Oil. We can go to Fibre Space if we need to, and then we can go and
because we'll go to Fibre Space on Wednesday.
Yeah. So But I
Did
have...
you see that they have a bag of things together? Is that what you want?
I don't know. I'm thinking.
We could look and perhaps see what's in the bag.
Because I also really want a paddleboard.
I understand.
So, I paddleboarded.
And I want a boat kit.
What
Remember? The boat kit?
Oh, that boat kit. Yes. That's going to be a daddy present.
I think it's going to be a present to myself.
Well, but yeah, that is not I can convince daddy to halvesies or Nana to halvesies it with me.
No, I really
because
need
daddy
a new
will go.
iPad.
Really? Okay. Then we can talk. We should look up the specs. We should figure out if you want Nanny, Dad, and I to split that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
we'll figure
I'm
that out
desperate for a new iPad. Mine is like not doing well.
Okay.
Then you can have mine.
Yes! I was just thinking how I was thinking about getting one of the minis, but I will take your old one, no problem.
Because you get rid of half the stuff.
Yes. Ha-ha.
Okay.
And so then I found out at Knit Night on Wednesday that there is a Jimmy Bean wool Gilmore Girls knit along. It's also a mystery knit along.
Really?
It's a shawl in fingering weight, and Jimmy Bean wool has a special colorway. It's a blue kind of gray variegated, and they have multiple other solids that go with it. But I found these two.
Oh my gosh, they're gorgeous.
I know. They're Babs.
This is looking more purple than it actually is.
It's beautiful. It is. It's
gorgeous.
Quite purple, actually.
It's what?
It's quite purple on the bottom, on that edge. It's quite purple.
Well, then turn it over.
It's not as purple on this side.
It's more aqua there. See, I need a pin.
You do, but I'm showing you could wear it that way.
Yes.
So this is Zing in Yummy 2-ply, and this is Across the Universe in Yummy 2-ply. I'd originally bought these as options for my grandmother's Fabergé I talked about last week, but she picked two different colors because they went with her winter coat better. But I figure I can use these for that knit along. So I'm gonna have these and that cowl. Let's see how much I actually get done of either of them, but I'm excited about that. And then I currently don't know how my Owlet is going to turn from being circular into being a round creature, but we have some progress on it. It's supposed to be an Owlet. It's supposed to become a thing. It's supposed to become a tube.
Oh.
I have to read the directions again and see if I'm totally screwing it up or not.
Like a basket?
No. Well, yeah, essentially, yes. I don't know if this has a photo on it. That's the wrong thing.
I can see where it's going to become a basket.
Yeah, but we'll figure it out. So that's that. I have some yarn in here that I need to wind that you've already seen. It's the art yarns. And then...
This is the never-ending basket here. Actually, no, it's a bag, not a basket. We're actually throwing out a picnic basket. My husband will be so
proud of us.
He doesn't have a mania for baskets like we do.
No, he has a mania for telling other people's secrets.
Well, he didn't know how to get Grandpa's size without telling him to give him the jacket because his father asked a lot of questions. That's because I
asked Dad, because I know he goes over and sees Grandpa quite often, if he could take a look at the suit jacket Grandpa bought for my cousin's wedding this summer, because that would be a size that fits him, because at the wedding it fit him very well. And that would be a size that I could knit a sweater in.
And Dad said that his father would know something was up when pawing through his closet trying to get this suit jacket. My husband doesn't do anything secretively.
No. So, of course, he then texts me and goes, oh, it's a, whatever size it is, and he's so excited for the sweater.
He meant well, but he really didn't. I mean, he explained.
I know. I understand. Grandpa would have been a bit nosy about it.
Yes.
You can't really see it, but it's Petworth by Neighborhood Fiber Co. on Studio Worsted. It's the Gramps sweater. Perfect, I think, for a grandfather, even though I know it's meant for a baby. And
it's all sizes.
I know it's all sizes now, but, she designed it for babies because they look like little old men.
Little Winston Churchills.
So, that's the sweater. I don't know if I'm going to put the elbow patches on because I feel like he'll run into something and rip them off.
True.
Because he's a bit unstable, but he's also
He is doing physical
clumsy.
Therapy. He's
Wait,
doing
what?
better.
Dang.
His doctor told him he should go to physical therapy, and he's actually walking better. Dad
Oh,
says.
good.
Yes.
But so that I'm on. I've got like I'm halfway through the increases at the yoke, so I'm trying to get that done. But other than that,
I think we should talk about what we did last night.
we went to see Doctor Strange.
And
it's great.
I couldn't really remember reading that much about Doctor Strange in the comic books. But I do, having seen the movie, I can remember seeing this person in the comic.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't follow him all that much. I thought the movie was wonderful. I really did. I mean, definitely 2 thumbs up. I thought the digital art was really good. I thought it was well
I think it was
integrated.
very well done.
I really did. And I thought all the people who played the characters, and it's live action, I thought they were well chosen. I think Tilda
Swinton
was wonderful in her role, and
and we acknowledge the fact that there's been a whole controversy over the whitewashing of the Ancient One's character. We understand there's some controversy to it, but no one can say that she didn't play the character well and that she did not do a wonderful job in her acting and in her ability. The controversy is more on the
comic book side that it's not
even
through.
It's more on the onus of Marvel Entertainment themselves and the people who are doing the
script,
hiring of the actors.
Right. Okay.
Can't remember the name of it right now, but the people the casting agents, the casting people. But Tilda Swinton was wonderful in her character. She really did a wonderful job. The fact that she played it so androgynously was so fantastic.
Really, I loved it.
I mean, my father made a comment of, "Oh, that was Tilda Swinton. What, huh?" Even though they do use female pronouns to refer to the Ancient One the entire time, it didn't click for my father that this androgynous character was female, except for a few key points in the movie. But
He's often clueless, if you haven't figured out by now.
He's wonderful. He's very smart. He's just clueless.
If it's not within his area of expertise, clueless does fit the bill. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's wonderful with boats. He's out working on the boat right now, trying to finish winterizing it.
But he's a bit clueless. So, and Benedict Cumberbatch has a great American accent.
Oh, he did a great
American accent.
Wonderful job. Yes.
And then we saw previews for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which I'm so excited about.
It looks great. And then we saved for the Easter eggs at the end.
The Easter eggs, which are great, which we won't tell you about. We're trying to be as spoiler-free as possible. Because it did only just come out.
Waiting for.
Both
of them. So there's 2. So sit in that seat.
The first one's so cute. The first one's cute. The second one, you're like...
Yes.
But also like, really?
Anyway, so go see it. And then tonight...
we're going to go see Rent! I'm so excited.
It's a travel...
It's the touring company.
Right.
The 20th anniversary touring company. A girl I went to high school with is playing Mimi. And so I'm very excited to see that. Probably a lot of people from my high school are going to be there. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. So we are really trying to scramble our way to getting to the theater. So I think
I think we should
cut it short. Anyway, everybody, these brownies are great. I think I could have dinner from the brownies.
Because I haven't done all that much knitting. I've been trying to work on the Allet, and I started Grandpa's sweater, and I did
I've been doing a tremendous amount. Oh, I didn't show the baby blanket that I made.
Oh.
It's over there.
You can see it on Instagram.
Yes.
It's 3 colors, and it's just a simple crochet.
Open pain.
Pain.
It's an open pain, double crochet, open pain. So it's double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and then the next row, chain up 2, and then double crochet in the space that the chain 1 left. So to me, it looks like a window panes all over. And then that's also going to Winthrop Memorial Hospital.
Yeah.
For those of you who explaining Harry Potter, it's very much like Harry Potter in that we're in terms, and each month has a set of classes. And this was one where I was supposed to envision a flame. And I found a picture of a flame that started out kind of red at the bottom, then went to orange, and then went to yellow. And so this blanket does too. And so I submitted that for the prompt, and then we can donate these things that we make to charities or to women in our group who are having babies, so it could be part of the baby brigade. So anyway, that's what I do when I want to satisfy a class for those imaginary internet points.
Because nothing motivates this one like imaginary internet points.
Except to do exercise. I swear. I have yet to find the clue that... So I think
Pokemon kind of has.
Not much.
You really should walk around campus more and get the Pokemon.
Except that the traffic has gotten so bad that I'm getting there at like 7:25. I have to eat breakfast. I have to get ready for class. And I'm leaving at 5:45 in the morning. I mean, it's amazingly horrible. So your dad and I are talking about joining an exercise place and going together, because at least then both of us would go. So that may be by next week that we will have done that. So anyway, this blanket square from my dad is growing. You can see it's the traditional wave pattern to show
it's a
waves.
feather and fan.
Yeah. And
I think that's about it. I have a yarn here, but I can't show you because it's still in spoiler zone, and I don't want to get too yelled at.
From Nerd Girl?
Yeah, it's the newest random fandom. It's really pretty. I'll show it to Mommy under. Isn't it pretty?
Oh.
It has sparkles.
Oh my gosh. It's lovely.
Yeah. Maybe next week I'll show you. I just don't want to get yelled at for it.
I think you're going to have to pair that with something.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. I think the dark gray.
Yeah, I'm thinking a dark gray. I haven't decided yet.
Nice.
Yeah. Or just do a cowl out of it. I feel like it needs to be a cowl or like some open work shawl.
So I think I'm going to cast on my mother's scarf shawl thing this week.
Nice.
This coming week, just to get it started, because it can also fit a prompt for
classes.
Quidditch, I think.
Oh, good.
Because it's got sparkly yarn, and I could just make it a square at first, and then submit that.
Hopefully no people are watching this.
Well, I can end it off and then join the yarn later.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
Yes, you can.
There's no yardage bonus, so that's fine. And you can do two things. So one is to have sparkly yarn to attract
something or
some animal. And then the other is to capture it. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about that, or if I'll do two. Well, I'll certainly do one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it. So I'm hoping maybe by next week my husband will have called the painter, and we will be able to report when the study will be painted.
Maybe. Next week we're also going on our adventure.
Yes! We're going to go visit a friend of ours up in Poughkeepsie, and there are at least, 3 yarn shops?
I know there are 2. I thought you had talked about a third.
We have to figure this out.
We do.
But that's on Sunday, which means I will have gotten through Friday and the filming.
Yes.
Luckily, the alum is a longtime buddy of mine. He could have asked me to stand on my head, and I would have tried.
It would not have ended well, but you would have tried.
Well, you never know. I have stood on my head before.
You have.
So, anyway. And he keeps saying, so are you comfortable doing this? And is this okay? And I'm saying, John, all you did, you pitch me the questions, I'll answer them, and we'll be just fine. That way I don't have to remember anything, because we're going off of what my experience has been. And I can remember that. But if you ask me to remember something from a website, there's no way that it's going to happen, not on top of everything else. So I think it's going to go over really, really well. I'm going to have makeup done, which will be exciting. I've never done stage makeup or had television makeup.
It'll be fun.
It'll be fun. I had planned to ask them for clues of what to do about under eye shadows.
Because they're hereditary in our family. Like, I have no makeup on right now, and I slept really well, and I have
I haven't been sleeping well. I've been clogging up, and so it's also from lack of really good sleep. because of my allergies. So anyway, I ended up with dark shadows. I seem to still keep being able to power through the day, so I'm not really that concerned about the sleep issue.
It's just the fact that the raccoon kind of
raccoon eyes. And learning makeup tips from, they're hiring a professional.
Always a good thing.
It's always a good thing, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it. The yarn was about the only surprise that I had. So the sock blank, which I showed on Instagram, and I hadn't shown Vote. I think Vote, because that's at the Dragonfly website.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it.
Yeah, and I think I've shared everything. I didn't really get much done. I haven't really started anything, haven't really finished anything.
So, I don't know, do we want to encourage other people to do one of the Gilmore
Girls?
Oh,
yeah! You should totally do the Gilmore Girls, and if you're going to do either one of them, either the Gilmore Girls MKL, which is the title, that's the title of it, or the Jimmy Bean Wool one, which is Laurel Eyes, LOREL space EYES. Like Lorelei. Yeah. So, yeah, either one. Let us know in the episode thread or down below. And
if we get more than 10,
we could do our own little mini one.
That's right.
Or you could just have another place for people who don't finish. Or who don't finish in the 4 days and are continuing to finish it throughout the holiday season. Or we can just stop it.
Well, I just have the plug right here.
Oh.
So before we lose
power and have to redo something. There we go. Power.
And we're brighter.
Oh my goodness. What a concept.
So, anyway.
But yeah, so if you want to come and join us, I'm going to be doing both of them. I think Mom's waiting until we see how the cowl works out, because I think the shawl you're not too enthralled with the idea of it.
3 shawls to finish.
I know. So the cowl she might do, but she might do in fingering.
Yes.
So if you're thinking about doing that, maybe hit us up and we'll see what.
That would be December then.
Yeah, that would be December.
Once we see what the pattern is like. And because I've got some perfect yarn that I got in Minneapolis last year. I was there for a conference, and guess who's there in Minneapolis?
Stephen B.
Of course. So I looked at, when I found that my paper had been accepted, or actually was going to be sent to Minneapolis, I looked up yarn stores, and Stephen B's just jumped right out at me. That is an experience. It's wonderful. And I was there, and Stephen was there, and I had lost my knitting
her little like notions bag,
and I was bereft. I didn't have stitch holders. I didn't have stitch markers. I didn't have anything. So
you really needed.
I need help. So anyway, and I told Stephen this, and he wandered me around the store and helped me find all that you really need for the basics for a notions kit. And it was great because I was out of town. I had brought knitting with me. And of course I dropped a couple $100 in his store. He was wonderful. And his store is so active. They've got an upstairs and a downstairs. In the upstairs they've got purse things, and they've got that's where they do the spinning, and lovely, wonderful, welcoming. I can't say enough. So anyway, I had bought this yarn at Stephen B's that I think would be perfect for the cowl. It looks kind of like what they're talking about. So we'll see.
We'll see.
And with that, I think we're going to try not to eat all the brownies before my husband gets home. And I'm going to get dressed for the show tonight. And that's about it. So thank you for coming by. We appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Bye.
If I can actually turn off.